Hey everybody, so this is the last video of the 30 Days with Willow series, which was just kind of a test run, a general kind of an idea I had played with came into my head. I started doing it, and essentially I just went through and spontaneously listed a bunch of different topics to talk about and then spoke on them for about 10 minutes. I try to keep them to 10 minutes. Towards the end, we had a couple that went a little bit longer. I would like to thank all of you for watching this and ask you a couple of questions and just close the series out with a couple of things here. So one of the things is, please comment on this video about how you liked the series, things you would like to see different, things that you love, changes, what you want to experience. I'd love to hear your feedback. I would love to hear, for those of you who've watched the whole series, like what you thought and what your favorites were, what your least favorites were. All that type of stuff is as long as it's constructive feedback, is all valuable for me moving forward. Now, I would like to say that the next one is going to be on extraterrestrials only. Galactics and extraterrestrials. We kind of use the same terms, and they've been having me separate out the word galactics right now because there are a lot of beings who are extraterrestrial, extra to Earth, extraterrestrial, extra Earth. Those would be like other dimensional beings on Earth, galactics from other planets. It's going to be all those beings, but in a non-fairy sense, non-angelic sense, non-dragon sense. Some of these topics will be split out. And so the next one is going to be a lot of beings focusing specifically on other worlds and realms, meaning other planets for the most part, and then probably a few sprinkled in here and there from like maybe inner Earth or the oceans or something like that. So that'll be the next 30 Days of Willow, and that will include spirit art to show you the being, like hopefully. As I can find them, I have a bunch of them that I can be like, oh, here's the being, so you'll have visuals and kind of get more into what I actually do as an intuitive artist and talk about them, channel them, but trying to keep it to 10 minutes to describe who they are. So that's going to be the next one, and then after that, I'm going to be doing one on faeries, then probably some other topic that I'll figure out later on. But again, if you like this, let me know. If there are 30 days of topics that you're like, hey, it'd be cool if you did a 30 days of XYZ, let me know. It could be anything, general spirituality, ET stuff, all that type of thing. So what was I going to say? Yeah, I just lost my train of thought there. Sorry about that. So for those of you watching, again, thank you for watching. And, I just want to close this out saying that you are doing the work by watching these videos. My guides wanted to kind of give a little message, and we didn't, when I asked, like, what next? The last topic we had didn't really seem to fit. And they were like, just do a thank you video, ask them for questions, and then we'll do a little channel. So just to make sure that you're aware that watching these videos is doing the work. There are some of you out there who may think you have to pay for services, you have to pay for trainings and certifications and all of these other things. Remember that you don't have to do any of that. I want to be very clear in this last video. All of that stuff you heard before, I'm self-taught. I'm 99.9% self-taught. Now, when I say that, I mean 99.9% self-taught without humanity. Humans did not really teach me. I had a short stint in my 20s where I had some people teaching me, and then I learned everything myself through my guides, everything through the faeries, the galactics, experiencing them one-on-one. You can do it yourself without paying for stuff. I was in that seeker's space, and when I say that, I mean I didn't pay for the certifications, the trainings, all of that. I read books. I would be like, oh, I'm interested in this. I'd go get a book at the library or buy a book, and I would read the book, and it would resonate, and I would try meditation techniques on my own. Everything I did, I learned. I did it on my own through learning on my own. The only human part of that is I would read books and put things together for myself, because some of it we have to go through those activations and things. But I was always reading books I was guided to. I would be like, oh, I need a book to help me like with telepathy and understand this. And guys would be, they'd take a book ad and it would just, the ads on my screen would always be that book, and I'd go, okay, I need to buy that. And then I'd read it and go, oh my God, this is great. Now for years I haven't read books. I haven't read a lot of books, specifically spiritual books. When I say this, I do like to read when I can, find the focus. So up here, that oftentimes focusing on a page is a bit more difficult for me. But when I can, I'm reading fiction books, not spirituality books, not ET books. I don't do any ET research anymore. People send me things about events and that, and I just ignore it. Like, I'm like, thank you, and you know, it's just not something I look into, because I want my experience to be pure. So I'm learning through my guides. They teach me and they bring me the information I need through them when I need to be taught. And a lot of times it's just a video, it's just a reel on Instagram that activates you, that you know, you're trying to figure out like, oh, what does this mean? And then somebody else has experienced the same thing and spirit brings it to you. The point is this: if you're watching these videos, which obviously at this point you are doing the work. Every video will activate you a little bit further, will teach you something a little bit more. You are doing the work of exploring and understanding and reducing fear, which is what my energy and my work is about. You are doing the work on yourself. A lot of people want to think they're not doing enough and they want to force it because they're not ready. The thing is, you don't get to my space of connection and acceptance and experience without the work that I've done in the past that people don't see. There was years of it. You know, a lot of this, I was awake, not fully awake, but I was a little bit awake as a kid. And a lot of people are just waking up and breaking free of, you know, religious structures and the idea of not even having intuition. A lot of people are suddenly just like, oh, now I'm intuitive, what's going on? Type of thing. And so what are they saying? Allow yourself to be free of these concepts of equality and where you need to be. Allow yourself to accept where you are and understand that it's okay to be at one spot in the spectrum. You know, if you have a spectrum of 0 to 100, say, it's okay to be at 1 or 2 while somebody else is at 99, 100. You can work to get up to that 99 to 100. And as long as you continue doing that work in whatever way is aligned for you, that's the big thing that I talk about, is alignment. It doesn't mean there's no one path, there's no one right way, there's no clear toolkit. People who are like, this is the thing you have to use. It doesn't work that way. Everybody's path is different. Every client I have is different and has different needs that the guides come through and say, this person needs to dance, this person needs to meditate, this person needs more ocean time. There's different paths and different experiences to getting to the same points of healing and experience of these other beings. But just continue to do the work. So even though like this series has ended, the point of this video is don't stop working. Watch the other videos I have. Go through the workshops. If you're not aware, I have workshops on dragons, gridding light, faeries. I'll probably do some other ones. There was a time where I was doing them more frequently, and there are some recorded workshops over there. But I have those. I have the other videos in different playlists. Go through those. Find what resonates, what feels aligned. Watch them, learn from them. Find other people if you feel the urge. Go to social media, watch the reels and light codes. Continue your journey. And understand that it's all about practice, patience, and persistence. I talk about this a lot on social media. Practice, patience, persistence. You need all three to continue growing in this space. And so the next part we're going to continue growing is reducing the fear of extraterrestrials and galactics. And we're going to do that with me telling stories and giving messages in the next 30 days of Willow. I'm going to communicate with some of them and see what they have to say about just general messages they want to give. Some of these you'll find on my website, channeled messages, but I'm going to connect in the moment and try to give different types of awareness, see what they have to say, and visuals. So there'll be a lot of activations in the next 30 days of Willow. Clients often experience connecting and seeing beings from those species, because as I'm connecting and activating you, their consciousnesses are looking for people who are ready to receive. And so you may start to experience some things. The whole point about this video is do not allow yourself to stop growing, and to understand, there's one little caveat here, to understand that we all go through periods of non-growth, which is rest. Rest is actually growth, but we consider it non-growth. And a lot of people get into these phases where for 1 or 2 or 3 months, they don't experience anything. It's slow, they're moving, they feel like they're always sitting doing nothing. There are times where we have to rest. We have to rest to acclimate to the vibration that we brought in order to be able to accept new vibrations. It's integration. It's learning to use what you already have existing before you continue on. So remember, there are periods of rest too, where people get into these phases and it's like you don't feel like anything's happening, and sometimes that's not happening for a reason, because you need to rest. It's healing work. We go through activations, we're pulling stuff out of our field, we're putting stuff into our field, we're downloading things, removing traumas, all of this stuff. And sometimes, yeah, we pull out a trauma, we rest for a day to reacclimate. But when you're doing it all the time, when you start doing it all the time, there are going to be periods where for a month, Spirit's going to be like, do nothing. That's okay. It's perfectly fine. Your journey is your own. Your experience is your own. Your path is your own. And for those of you who are ready to just listen to the stories and have some fun, and for those of you who are ready for activations and downloads, be on the lookout for the next 30 days of Willow, which will be about the other beings. Thank you again. Please leave comments, subscribe, share on social media. Let me know what you think, and if you feel nudged to a spirit art reading or testimonial, or a spirit art reading, a testimonial, divine counsel transmission, visit awakenwithwillow.com. Thank you, everybody. Love you all.